We're about to start this meeting.
How are you, Mr. Taylor?
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
Another day in paradise, sir.
Hey, there you go. Campaigning going all right?
Oh, yeah, been all over.
Yeah, I saw your dad the other day. He was at the office with this stuff. You know, he said, "Yeah, you're out." Hub, Commissioner Corn, we're going to get started.
Oh, no, you're fine. We don't mind. Everybody's having fun.
Good morning. We'll call the commission meeting for March 19th, 2026 to order. It is now 9 a.m. And Dara, would you please lead us in a prayer?
You want the prayer or the pledge first?
One of you want to lead in the pledge, and then Dara will do the.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance. Thank you. If you feel led, please join me as we pray. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this beautiful day. It is so gorgeous. Spring in New Mexico is beautiful, Lord, and we just thank you for this wonderful day. Thank you, Lord, for our law enforcement and our first responders. Lord, we appreciate them going into danger when we need their help. Lord, thank you for our military. Please keep them safe, Lord. Please guide them and surround them with your love and be with them as they protect all of us in this great nation. Lord, give us open ears to hear and an open heart to love. And to God be the glory. Amen.
Cindy, do we have a quorum? Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion. I move we approve the agenda.
A second.
Motion by Commissioner Corn and second by Commissioner Perry to approve the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It was
Commissioner Wade.
Oh, it was Commissioner Wade, excuse me. And approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve minutes for February 19th, 2026.
I second. Thank you.
Is that
Darren.
Dara, and who's second?
I second.
Who's second? Motion by Commissioner Dana and second by Commissioner Perry to approve the minutes. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We will now have a presentation of the 2025 fiscal audit report by the Jaramillo Accounting Group.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. I am here with Audrey Jaramillo. She is with Jaramillo Accounting Group. She's the audit partner there, and she will be going over fiscal year 2025's audit report. I did put the big audit book in front of you all for you to review and see. And you can follow along with her if you'd like. Otherwise, she's going to share the report itself and have it on the screen if you'd like to follow along the TV instead. And for anyone online, the report is available for anyone to download and review. If you go to the Office of the State Auditor's website on osa.nm.gov. And you can go ahead and search for this report by Chaves County. Now, before I hand this over to Audrey, I wanted to thank again the whole Jaramillo Accounting Group staff. This is our 9th year of partnership with them. As you know, usually auditors are only on rotation for 8 years before we have to select a different auditor. However, our term was extended with the approval of the state auditor due to the flooding event that we had. And this was due to continue having the continuity and the operational efficiency while we worked through that recovery phase. Now, I want to thank Audrey, of course, and all of her entire team for working through us and being patient while we attended several federal meetings. They were also very patient with us as we did several sampling and testing and all the other fieldwork items. On top of this, we also had a delay deadline from the state auditor due to our audit report being a single audit report, and this was due to federal money being used. There was a delay with the government shutdown back in October that delayed the compliance portion of it, and we had to turn in our report a little bit later due to the state auditor pushing that deadline back. However, passing that hurdle, we were still successful. We submitted it still on time, and we were also able to submit it to GFOA for another review of our annual comprehensive financial report. Another thank you to our department heads, because these recognitions couldn't be achieved without them. They're always willing to cooperate and to be consistent in compliance with all the applicable policies and regulations, which can include, but certainly not limited to, state statutes, DFA guidelines, state audit rule, ethics commission rules, procurement code, and our very own internal policy. Now, those that are willing to cooperate have made this report certainly very successful. Also, a thank you to my close team in my own department as well, especially my sanity Lucia that always keeps me in line. Thank you to Alex and to Anna, and certainly our county manager, Bill Williams. And a thank you to you, commissioners, for trusting your team to allow them to go ahead and carry out their responsibilities, and for supporting us throughout this audit process. Now I introduce to you Audrey Jaramillo. She is online, and she'll be going over this fiscal year 2025's audit report. And then after this, throughout the agenda, I'll have a resolution for you to go ahead formally accepting this audit report. Audrey, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, Commissioners, and Annabelle, you all can hear me. Just want to make sure you can hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, great. Well, we are here in this windy early spring, I guess it is, to go over the results of the June 30, 2025 audit report. And thank you, Annabelle, to you and your team. And as you mentioned, it is a lot of hard work, and you always have done extremely well throughout the audit process, and the county has had great results. I do want to affirm the county for continuing to earn the GFOA award for the transparency and presentation of the financial statements. Not everyone goes through this extra step and high bar of having this annual comprehensive financial report, which has extra disclosures and transparency for the public. And the county has continued to earn that award from the GFOA. So great job, and I'm just really proud of everyone in the team there. You've had low turnover, which is awesome, and it really does show in the audit process and in the audit results. So with all that being said, I'll scroll through the report here, and if there are any questions, we're happy to answer those at the end. We won't take a very deep dive because there's just a high volume of information in these reports, and it's similar, of course, to what you've seen in the past. But here's the table of contents. I always joke around and say it's good bedtime reading, but there is a lot of very helpful information, and audits are always looking into the past, right? So your fiscal year ends. During the summer, we do a lot of testing of your internal controls and your federal grants and things like that. But then into the fall and winter is when we test all of the funds and the numbers and the balances, and then assist the county in the preparation of these financial statements. So there's a lot of content in here that relates to last fiscal year. So the way it's structured is what you pay us for, our independent auditor's report. There's a management discussion and analysis, which compares last year's balances to this year's balances. And so 24 to 25, it talks about the county and gives the taxpayers and users of the financial statements more information about the county. Then we have the government-wide financial statements, and For those of you who are familiar with financial statements for private entities, the statement of net position is the equivalent of a balance sheet county-wide, and the statement of activities is the equivalent of a P&L, profit and loss, or a statement of net income. But it's for government called statement of activities. And these are a big picture view of the county's operations, balance sheet right at June 30, 25 snapshot. And then the statement of activities will have the whole fiscal year, revenues and expenses essentially. Then the financial statements are structured to drill down into a little more detail. So instead of government-wide, they go into the fund financial statements. And there's some reconciliations here between, the government-wide and the fund financial statements. But if you were curious, for example, just to look at your general fund, this is where you would find it here. And then there are some budget to actuals. The commission approves, of course, the budget each year. And we'll see in that statement briefly that you have your original budget, your final budget after the bars that you approve, and then the actual results, and then any variances, plus or minus. Then we have the small proprietary funds, custodial funds, and then the notes to the financial statements, which are more of a story, just gives more information on policies and more details than the statements up here have in, more details than the statements have above. Then there's the required supplementary information, which is basically on the para and RHCA plans. Most of you know those plans are, they're not completely funded. And so a big portion of the unfunded amount gets allocated out, or all of it gets allocated out to the participating governments, which of course includes Chaves County. So there's a lot of detail here on how all of that is calculated and pushed onto your balance sheet as a liability. And then supplementary information, it drills down into all of the funds. So the governments have many, many funds, 40 funds, 80 funds, whatever the number is, they are all listed out in the back here with balance sheets and income statements. And you can see them listed here. It separates them out between capital project funds, debt service funds, etc. Then we have the OSI section, and OSI is usually what the state auditor's office wants in the report. And so that's going to be your schedule of cash, your deposit and investment accounts, some combining statements, pledged collateral, the tax roll reconciliation. They always want to make sure the governments are tracking their state appropriations, so there's a schedule there for that. Joint powers agreements are all listed there, so if you're ever curious, commissioners, okay, who do we have agreements with? They are all listed there. And then the CFA, we call it, the Schedule of Expenditure of Federal Awards, and that lists out all of your grants and how much the county expended for fiscal year 25 on those grants that the county has been receiving. And then some notes. And then for the ACFR, the Annual Comprehensive Financial Report, here's the additional transparent information that I was speaking to as far as the statistical section that has a lot of historical information. The last part is the compliance section, and these two reports here that you see on 168 and 170 are our reports also that you pay us for in addition to the opinion letter in the front. First is a report on internal control over financial reporting, and we don't give an opinion on your internal controls, but we do look at them, and if there are any findings, then we report them to you. And then the report on compliance for each major federal program. This is the single audit or uniform grant guidance audit, federal audit that's done in conjunction with the county's regular financial statement audit. In some states, they're done separately, and so it's interesting in New Mexico that they're done all together, but it does create a lot of efficiencies to do them together, and nice to have it all in one report, I think. So this, we have also an unmodified or clean opinion on your federal programs. And then there's the summary schedule of prior audit findings and any current findings, and then we just have the exit conference disclosure at the end. So that's the report, just kind of going over it through the table of contents, big picture. Like I said, there's a lot of details here. I'm gonna skip down to the auditor's report, opinion letter. And so, like I said, we have a clean opinion, or unmodified is the terminology. And this is the type of report that the county wants. It's the best opinion that we can give, is an unmodified opinion. So it has a lot of standard language in here. A reminder that, management is responsible, and the commission, of course, for the financial statements. And it goes over our responsibilities, which are to ensure that the financial statements are materially stated. We don't look at every transaction, obviously, but we do sampling and we take a risk-based approach. Our audit is not designed or do, like a deep dive to find fraud or identify fraud. But if risks come to our attention, then we do follow up on anything that's disclosed to us or anything that we see in the course of our testing. But they are management's financial statements, and then we are just giving our opinion on them. This is the MD&A that has a lot of financial highlights and great information for the commission and the public that you could go through another time, comparing 24 to 25 and the changes. And your team does a great job with all of this. These are the government-wide financial statements that rolls up the county all into one statement. And then this is a statement of activities for the year ended June 30, 2025. And you can see here, I always find it interesting, having served as an elected official in the past, to look at the taxes and how much the community is submitting in taxes to the governmental entity. And the PILTs are here as well. So it kind of rolls up those totals. I know when you're working through budget and other things you do throughout the year, sometimes it's hard to just have that big picture, but I think these financials really help with that. Okay, I'll probably jump down here to our second report. A lot of schedules and a lot of information. So here's our report on internal control, pretty much just standard language that goes over the different levels of findings if you were to have any. And then this is our clean opinion, unmodified opinion on each major federal program.
Page 170.
So this is the bird's eye view of the results. Last year, as you can see, there were no findings. And we have unmodified opinions, no material weaknesses or significant deficiencies, no non-compliance materials to the financial statements noted. And then the major program for the federal funds audit was the COVID-19 Local Assistance and Tribal Consistency Fund. And here's the part that everyone wants to see in section 2 and 3, no findings on the financial statements and no findings on the federal awards. So great work. Congratulations. We have always seen really clean audits with this county. I think there's a lot of factors that go into that. Low turnover is one of them, but definitely the team you have works really hard, and it's not always that way. You have a really good internal control structure and management that helps that to have stability in the reporting. So not having compliance findings or financial statement findings is really a job really well done. And then the exit conference that we had on January 14th. So that completes the review of the audit results for June 30, 2025. And I'll stand for any questions.
Any questions for Audrey?
A lot to go through.
Anyone have any questions?
I'm good.
All right, no questions, Audrey. They said they're gonna look at this tonight before going to bed.
That's like I said, it's good bedtime material and get you sleepy. But no, it really does have great information. So thank you all. It's been a pleasure serving with you for these 9 years. We're sad to rotate off, but there is that rule in the state audit rule to rotate auditors every now and then, and you have a two-year rotation requirement. So before we would be able to come back. So thank you all again, Annabelle, you and Lucia, your team. Really appreciate you. And we're here for you, anything you need. So feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Audrey. Likewise, we really appreciated working with you, and please give our regards to your staff as well.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Audrey, thank you very much. Very professional audit, and we thank you for your expertise in a great audit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Presentations, Mike?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. It's going to be a nice day here in Chaves County. A little warmer than yesterday, I understand. Just briefly, you have a lot on your agenda. Just an update on some things. I know you've seen our report, or at least received it. We had our legislative reception in Santa Fe, as some of you were there. Thank you for being there. Great turnout. Candy Zell, Senator Zell was our keynote speaker, and but we had very strong attendance. A lot of good discussions. As you know, we were very involved with the Amazon project and equipment share, which is sited right next to the Amazon on Monksdale Road in the city of Roswell and near Sunset. And that's all attributed to the work we did in obtaining a grant to do some site-ready work to make the site ready, pretty much shovel-ready for a company to get in there a little bit faster. That's the reason that we were able to finalize a 3-year project with Amazon to get that moving forward. If you've been out there recently, the building looks pretty nice, and they will be, in fact, they'll be opening up mid-April. They are already hiring currently. There's a website link that people are moved to. There's also their Amazon Flex program, which is a program where entrepreneurs can deliver packages for Amazon, and they're pretty much a contract employee. You've probably seen them at your place, or someone else is delivering packages in other places. But we're pretty excited about both those equipment shares. They got finalized at the last city council meeting, so that's another 25 to 50 jobs, and average salary is around $70,000 a year, so it's pretty good wages. We anticipate them starting next month, so they'll be building a building, what have you. So pretty good stuff. Because of our work in the site piece, which is so critical across the country, but especially here in Chaves County, We recently submitted for 2 sites with a state under their new state site readiness program. You may have seen some traffic a month ago about some locations across New Mexico that were authorized and approved under the State Economic Development Department's program, site readiness program. Well, I just did a presentation, and we have 2 of our sites now going to be in that program, which means the state's going to market those sites for us already as well. So I just want to share that with you, and we'll continue down that pathway. As you know, United Airlines is here. Commissioner Dana, I think you were on the inaugural flight. You were not there?
No, I wish.
But in spirit, you were there,
Yes, I
but on
was.
American.
I was texting my sister as it flew off.
So we're pretty excited about that. Ridership seems to be satisfactory. Please help get the word out. There's a lot of folks still don't know that United is here in Roswell. So we want to make sure we get good ridership so we retain that opportunity for the future. The Navy's been here. They brought in a lot of folks, a lot of airplanes. We typically provide a reception to host them, to welcome them back to Roswell every year. And we did that one evening, and Mayor Jennings was our speaker to the group. They are so appreciative of being here in this community and the people that live here and the way they're treated here. And I want to share that with you because that's very important. You can't get that most places. We have currently, I've got 18 projects in our pipeline. 18, that's a lot. Of those 18, 6 are aviation, 5 are manufacturing, and there's some other stuff. So, you know, as City Councilor Ed Hildebrand, I think you know Ed, mentioned to me just the other night, says if we get 20% of these projects, we'll be doing really, really well. Well, some of these are pretty big numbers in job creation. Some are small. But I do want to share with you, and I don't know if I mentioned to you last time I was here because it's been a minute, but you know, we did a project in 10 days. Did I tell you about that project last time? So this project was Project BPM, and this project, there was a guy from Arkansas, and he wanted to find a location in southeast New Mexico because he sees his work moving toward the west, and he wanted an expansion. So he sent us an email. He was unable to get some calls back from other organizations in town. I won't tell you who they are, but they sent an email to us in our general inbox. And I look at that several times every day, and I saw that, and I called him. And he says, I need to do this, this, and this. My scope of work is facility remediation after natural disasters like floods and fires and things like that, predominantly a lot of stuff for the government. And he says, but I have a large presence needed in southeast New Mexico. I said, okay. So he told me his needs. I found him a building, several, well, 3, which is a lot for what his needs were. In 2 days, I had him an answer, and he said, I'm bringing my wife, I'm coming to Roswell in 3 days. And he did. He came to Roswell, flew in an American, took him out to the properties. He says, I like this one. Can you get the owner here? I had the owner there in 10 minutes. He signed a contract. He's already hired people, and he's in business today. So that's what we do. And to just end this to this morning, I've been fortunate enough, for the first time, I've never done these, but I was on a podcast, and the reason I want to share that with you is the podcast was through a company called Golden Shovel. They only do economic development type activities, and the title of the talk was maximum effort, how going above and beyond is driving success in Roswell. And it's all attributed to the National Championship Air Races. And I did a webinar at the request of the National Rural Economic Development Association, Success in a Small Town, Proven Marketing Strategies that Drive Rural Growth. So it's obvious to me, and it's not me, but it's obvious to me that people are paying attention more than they ever have to Roswell and Chaves County. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I stand for your questions.
Thank you, Mike.
You might have said, but how many jobs was that Amazon going to bring in?
Amazon is 75 to 100 jobs for their full-time equivalents, and then as far as their entrepreneurial piece, I'm not sure what that number is, but I know they've already hired folks because of,
Have they?
yeah. So I've already.
So,
'cause I
and you
talked to
said
them.
there was a website where people could look for
There is. There's
employment?
two different web links. What I'll do, Commissioner, Mr. Chairman, is I'll send them to Jessica, and then she can send them to you and help get the word out. But they do plan to be in operation in the middle of April.
Great, that's great. And then the other question I had is on this comprehensive report, there's a plane flying right over our building. Do you have anything to do with that?
Maybe.
Is that photoshopped or is that the real deal?
No, I didn't have.
Actually, I took that photograph. He was flying over, and I took about 20 of them, and unfortunately, that's the best one I got. It was really impressive, but my
I didn't know if that
photo,
was something subliminal.
my photo bombing is not good.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Katie?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Katie Wright, Chaves County Extension. It's been a long time. I was sick in January and then gone in February, so I'm so glad to see you. So February, I had the opportunity to go to the Kentucky Volunteer Leaders Forum hosted by Kentucky 4-H. It was absolutely incredible. I'd love to give you like my whole spiel later. You don't want to hear that right now. But we did come back with a bunch of things that we hope to share with our volunteers and community here in Chaves County. So since we last visited, I took 9 youth and 3 adults to Santa Fe for 4-H Day at the Roundhouse. They had a blast. They looked sharp. They really did. Bright blue button-ups, and they decided to call themselves the Blueberries. They had a blast. I've had several ambassador-led workshops by our senior 4-H members, including horse and sheep, and our shooting sports ambassadors will host one this evening, so very exciting. On the ag side, we have gardening at the library this Saturday, March 21st. I do believe that that's going to be potted house plants. That's not just for our Aggies. If you struggle to keep things alive in your house, please come. I'm one of those people. I admit it. It's okay. Come join us. The next one will be April 18th at the library as well. The extension clubs are hosting, they're calling it Fresh to Fun. It's a fruit leather creation lab hosted by, of course, the extension clubs on April 2nd at 5:30. So if you would like to join us for that, please RSVP by March 27th. Tamara is hosting Crafting for Your Mental Health, April 15th at the Hagerman Joy Center and April 16th at the Senior Circle in Roswell. Those are monthly programs and they have so much fun. Little Books, Little Cooks is for our littlest, bittiest friends, about ages 5 to 8. You don't have to be in 4-H to attend, but of course we always welcome new 4-H friends. Our next one is going to be March 28th at 11 a.m. I have 4-H Day at the library in Hagerman tomorrow. We're doing beekeeping and talking about beeswax and making some candles. Our enrollment deadline for competitions is March 31st. So we always accept new friends, but if they want to compete in fair or shooting sports, we have to have them in by March 31st. So please send any wonderful friends our way. I have 6 youth attending Youth Getaway in Glorietta and possibly some seniors going as counselors or counselors in training. Haven't quite heard back on that yet. We have appreciated the warm weather for our shooting sports. We have multiple senior teams headed to state shoot, so our county contest is coming up to decide who gets to actually go to that. We are beginning to tag livestock, specifically beef, this month for our fairs. And the biggest, most exciting thing I have to share with you is that April 20th and 21st, I am bringing back Ag Explorer for 4th graders and Progressive Ag Safety on the 23rd and 24th for our 3rd graders. So this is all Chaves County 3rd and 4th graders. I'm approximating 1,300 youth. That is insane, but it's going to be great. We're going to have so much fun and learn a lot. I am currently seeking some presenters to help make that happen at the Eastern Fairgrounds from about 8 to noon each day. If you know anybody, please send them my way. Additionally, we're needing a few more sponsors to help pay for buses. That is absolutely our biggest expense. So I'm expecting about $5,000 needed to cover the whole event. I'm about halfway there. So if you know anybody that wants to support ag in Chaves County with our youth, please, please send them my way. There was something else and I forgot what it was, but I guess it's not written down, so it must not be important. We'll stand for any questions.
That fourth grade production that you're doing, that's like an agricultural days, what is that?
Yes, so it's Progressive Ag Safety Days. It started out as Farm Safety Days, and they've just kind of progressed. So our focus is farm safety, but we also include anything like mental health safety, food safety, bicycle safety. I know in Lee County, they talk about the Stranger Danger Rangers.
Yeah, they, when I was a game warden, they used to do those in Eddy County, and it was
Yes.
it was a pretty big deal. So the Game and Fish would go in on that with you? if
Yes,
you
they
asked
are
them.
doing wildlife safety and firearm safety for us. They are incredible, one of our first presenters, so.
Cool, thank you.
Of course, any other questions? That was a lot of information.
Thank you.
Thank you, y'all know where to find me.
But it was a lot of information, but it was very happily presented, so.
I try.
Okay, we have a public hearing.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Agenda item number 1, public hearing to accept suggestions and ideas for projects for fiscal year 2028-2032 Infrastructure Capital Improvements Plan, ICIP. As part of the state's requirements for the Infrastructure Capital Improvement Plan, ICIP planning process, Chaves County is required to hold a public hearing to gather community input, suggestions, and ideas for potential projects to be considered for inclusion in the county's ICIP. The ICIP is a 5-year planning tool that guides capital improvement priorities. To qualify, a proposed project must have an estimated cost of $25,000 or more, create a new fixed asset, or enhance an existing fixed asset, have a life expectancy of at least 10 years, and benefit the community. I stand in for any questions and any proposals, any suggestions.
This is a public hearing item, so if anyone that would like, wish to speak or submit on these capital improvement projects, please do so at this time.
Mr. Chairman, if it's all right, I would like to make a couple of comments. So as everyone's probably well aware, the ICIP is our Infrastructure Capital Improvement Plan, and it's kind of our roadmap of what we're planning to do for the next 5 years. This gets updated every year. We try to identify the county's needs, whether they're preventative maintenance or whether it's new facilities or enhancements, improvements. Some of the things we've done recently, we're kind of in a rebuilding phase here at the county. So we're nearing completion on a new public health department. We're looking at an $8 million project. It's to benefit our community. That has been on our ICIP for about 10 years, maybe a little longer. I think Sonny had me put that on, but Sonny may have put that on before I did. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it takes a while before funding and stuff becomes available. Our health department, of course, everything lined up, and we had the opportunity, the funding sources showed up, and we were able to build that for our community. So that's something that's going to be here for a good 50 years and really support our community needs. We worked with the Department of Health and others to assure that the building was exactly what they needed and made sure that the money invested was wisely invested for them, so it will do the job that they need to do. Cooperative Extension Service, we recently purchased and redid a building for the Cooperative Extension Service. That is another ICIP project that we have had on the books for a long time. And again, finally, everything lined up and we were able to do that. We're completing the dispatch area. The cultural plaza should be done in a month or so. Some of the things that have been completed recently, the Brasher Bridge, we completely rebuilt that bridge based on information that the public brought to us, kind of like today. We're asking the public to let us know if there's any additional needs that we've not overlooked or that we may have overlooked or not seen. We also put in an ADA elevator at the courthouse for access to the courthouse. When the courthouse was built, the plan was to put in an elevator, but unfortunately, the state law required that they put in a ramp regardless of whether there was an elevator. And as you know, the ramp at the courthouse was about a $250,000 portion of the courthouse at the time. That was about what it cost to build an elevator. And they said, well, you have to have the ramp. So to keep money where it was, they built the ramp, which made it difficult for people to get in. It met all the ADA requirements, however, maybe missed the intent of the law, the spirit of the law to make it the easiest to get in. So that was one of the ICIP projects we did a few years ago. This year we have a new elevator on the interior portion of the courthouse that has been on our ICIP for a while. It's, I think, the oldest elevator at the courthouse, built in about 1966, that elevator anyway. Other things that we have are building repairs. Again, like I said, we try to be proactive and not have our buildings in poor repair. So we've got a roof project going on now. We have a concrete project and a rebuilding of the front of this building where the concrete is heaved over the last 20 years, and it creates a little bit of a hazard. We keep it maintained and ground down so no one does trip and fall, but at the same time, we're looking forward to getting things fixed. We do roads all the time. We're looking at repairing the refuge for battered adults. That's one of the buildings that we have a huge liability for. They bring families there to seek shelter when in need, and the building unfortunately had become pretty poorly repaired, and so we've worked the last 3 or 4 years to assure that that was added to our ICIP and the funding was done. But our staff does a really good job. Our grant specialist, Adriana, is always looking for money and making sure that all the paperwork is filled out, the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted. The rest of the finance department, of course, when the money comes in, they make sure it goes in the right folder so that we can utilize it appropriately. And then we've got Anna in procurement that makes sure that the monies are expended in the manner which is appropriate in the grants. And so I just wanted to quickly point out to the community what our county commission does for them where the ICIP is concerned. Of course, you guys prioritize those. We bring you the big list, and you guys help us boil that down to which ones we're going to pursue and ask for money for at any given time. But thank you for your input on that. We appreciate it.
What, on this past legislative session, did we get any appropriations for any of these projects?
Yes. Mr. Chairman, yes, we are receiving funds for the flood project, the island, for the Roswell Refuge renovations, for the concrete, for at the front of the building. We're also receiving money for the Olympics, senior Olympics, for vehicles. We're also receiving, on top of my head, Cultural Plaza. We're also getting an additional $440,000 for the Cultural Plaza, and I believe out of all the projects that we proposed to the legislators, there was only one that did not receive any funding, but we're gonna continue seeking funds for that project for the Mountain View Road improvement. But other than that, we were very fortunate to receive funds for all the projects we proposed.
And again, we're working, we had the courthouse in there, getting chillers for it to assure that the people that
2.4
utilize the
million.
courthouse are.
Mr. Chairman, I believe the total funding we're receiving is $2.4 million, a little bit over $2.4 million.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Being a public hearing, is there anyone online that wishes to speak? Nobody.
I got a quick question. This may not be for you, Mrs. Zapata, but last week when we met, Mr. Wade and I met with you on some of that stuff that the feds were looking at helping us with down in the Duncan. Is any of that associated with any of this stuff?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, it is not, but they will be added to this year's, the Duncan project that we kind of came up with quickly. Those were long-term ideas, so we will add them this year since that opportunity came up.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, any project that we get funding for, we add it to our ICIP. Most of them are already there, but when an opportunity, as we came up with the congressionally funded projects, we find out what they're interested in funding, what areas they can help, just as our meeting the other day, and then we create that project and put it in. So, thank you.
Thank you. No action taken.
No action. Just
No action, okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I'm going to go ahead and present agenda item number 2, which is Agreement A-26-003. This is for an air ambulance service with Trans-Aero Medevac. This agreement provides for emergency air medical transportation services for Chaves County residents who require critical care transport. The contractor will utilize FAA-certified aircraft and flight crews and provide critical care trained medical personnel in accordance with all applicable federal and state regulations. The county will provide an annual subsidy of $58,000, which will be paid in quarterly installments of $14,500. In exchange for the contractor agreeing to waive any remaining patient balances after insurance, whether that's Medicare or Medicaid payments or any other insurance. This will be for all Chaves County residents. This agreement will begin April 1st, 2026 and expire June 30th, 2026 with the option for annual renewals thereafter. And the reason why it's only for 3 months for this fiscal year is so that way it ends on the fiscal year and can continue going after July 1st per fiscal year. I do have Zach Hedgecock here also present from Trans-Aero in case you have any technical questions for him. But other than that, staff recommends approval of Agreement A-26-003.
Mr. Chairman, Annabelle, I do have a question. Okay, so in order to utilize Trans-Aero, we have to have an agreement with Trans-Aero? Is this why?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Dana, no, they are currently present here and already providing services, but what this contract will do is it'll waive any type of bill that the patient might receive. So whether if they have any type of insurance and there's like a certain copay, or if there's even like a balance thereafter, insurance will only pay a certain portion. This contract will free that patient from having to pay anything. They will not receive a bill anymore. It will be taken care of fully by the insurance, and then thereafter the contract as well to waive anything that is left over.
Good deal. Wonderful. I'll make sure that I get flown out, right? Thank you. Appreciate
I think
that.
what this agreement does, it provides this air ambulance service for all the residents of Chaves County so that anything over and above what their insurance or anything pays, they won't be responsible for. So everybody will have the opportunity to be flown for medical purposes to Lubbock or Albuquerque, wherever. So I think it's a great benefit for our citizens in Chaves County.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, as you know, and I don't recall what the latest amount is, but I think to be flown out will cost in the range of about $75,000. And then thereafter, medical insurance can cover probably a certain portion or a certain amount, but then the rest is thereafter put on the responsibility of the patient. So Trans-Aero approached the finance committee and talked to our county manager, and it was presented before them. And so we held a meeting and we got the proposal of this. And so that is something that the finance committee fully supported to push forward for the commission to review.
I do have one other question. This will take care of indigent funds. We will not have to pay indigent funds when they're flown out. Is that-
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, if they are already an approved indigent, we do have a contract with Trans-Aero for indigent.
Right.
They will be paid just that $5,000 and that's it.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept Agreement A-26-003 Chaves County and Trans Aero Medevac for air ambulance coverage.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Danis, second by Commissioner Wade. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 3 is to ratify Resolution R-26008, which authorizes and approves submission of an application for financial assistance and project approval for the New Mexico Finance Authority. We're applying for financial assistance in the amount of $100,000 from the Local Government Planning Fund for the development of a regional housing planning document. We got this information from Southeastern New Mexico Economic Development District. They needed someone to represent this region to create a planning for housing. So the monies are available. They just need someone to give it to. The COG asked us if we would be the county that would do that. And so we're asking that we utilize our resources to procure the appropriate planning document through Anna and her work. But thank you for the consideration. I'll try to answer questions more clearly than that if you have any.
We have a motion?
Well, this is just a planning for Chaves County.
Correct. And
Okay,
it's
these are just
a
files.
maximum of $100,000 for the planning document. Yeah.
Okay, and just planning, kind of looking at the resources here for regional housing in Chaves County?
Yes, they assess the needs, they assess
Okay.
the capabilities, and then they come back with the plan for how to ascertain those needs.
Cool, wonderful. Who do we talk to about this? I mean, who's going to be on this? It'll go through NMFA, right? And,
Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, if I'm not mistaken, NMFA is only going to provide the assistance to be able to pay the planner to
Okay.
really produce that report. Using that report, from what I understanding, is we'll be able to then apply for further
Right.
grants if needed, so
Right.
that way we can get better regional housing in
Right.
Chaves County.
okay, so this is trying to get the planner
This
in
is just to
place.
get the
Okay.
planner, yes,
Yeah.
correct, so that way we can have the exact needs, so therefore we
Right.
can move forward with what we need to build or what we need to do in Chaves County.
Who will be working with the planner? Do we know yet?
We'll have to identify their needs and go from there. You know, once we go out for an RFP for the planner,
Okay.
you know, then we'll get them on board, and then they'll tell us, you know, what trades they need involved, what other entities they would like us to have join the team to help plan it. But I would assume it would be representatives from City of Roswell, the other towns in the valley. I think it goes into Eddy County, Lee, so it covers quite an area. And of course, the COG will kind of help us get this all put together.
Yeah, and that's, I was going to mention, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, right now Debbie Lee is the one, a
Okay.
primary player that is pushing and kind of grouping everybody together to try to work together to get these housing needs report done.
Wonderful.
And once we have this plan in place, once we have all that stuff, that helps us with the funding, because a lot of the funding is not available if you don't have
Right.
a good, solid plan. So that's the purpose behind
Right,
it.
and there's quite a few grants out there to
Yeah.
help with refurbishing housing and stuff, so this is great. I'm glad we're involved, because that's kind of the steps that, other things that I'm involved. Housing is one of the steps that's needed here in Chaves County. Thank you very much, I appreciate that. Mr. Chairman, if there's, go ahead. There's-
No, you're good.
I was just going to make a motion. I'll fight you. Mr. Chairman, I just move for ratification for approval for Resolution R-26-008, authorizing and approving submission of an application for financial assistance and project approval to the New Mexico Finance Authority.
I second.
Motion by Commissioner Danis, second by Commissioner Perry. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
This has the corrected calculations. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. How come Hub got a pink paper clip and I got a purple one?
I have a yellow one. You want a yellow?
Those
Here,
purple
look.
ones are in high demand, sorry. Just want to mention before I start, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, the packet I just handed out is the correction of my initial mistake. So, just so what you're looking at is what's going to be on the document you sign, should you decide. So agenda item number 4, R-26-009, approval of a USDA NRCS cooperative agreement with the Chaves County Flood Commission. Chaves County Flood Commission is to enter into an emergency watershed protection program grant number 5047 with the USDA NRCS for fiscal year 2026-2027 to plan, design, construct, and install erosion control measures and watershed protection as detailed in the individual damage survey reports, DSR number 35-10-24-5047-001 at a location known as Zuberdraw Dams 1, 2, and 4, within the control of the Chaves County Flood Commission, Chaves County, New Mexico. The total cost of these projects will be $15,285,968.75 to be funded in proportional share by the parties hereto as follows. USDA NRCS share shall be 75% or $12,188,775. The Chaves County Flood Control share shall be 25% or $47,193.75. And again, the total project cost is $15,285,968.75. Staff recommends approval.
I don't believe the numbers are correct still,
Still not right. No.
but can I move that we approve resolution R-26-009 with USDA share of 75% plus the $50,000 NRCS monies, and Chaves County Flood Control paying 25% of the cost.
Yeah, you gotta add the,
We have a motion, we have a second?
Is that correct?
you gotta add the 50 to it, and that's 100% NRCS payment.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I believe the 50 is there, but if you look at page 30, it shows construction amount $12,188,775, total direct cost $12,238,775, and the numbers on this sheet came right off of the resolution itself, I believe. So we'll verify that those are correct and which numbers fit, but I see what you're talking about. The 12,188 is not the same as the 12,238.
12,238 is what.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, if that is a $50,000 discrepancy, that is probably the technical assistance portion of this, and there is no match from us on that.
That is correct. That's what I was speaking
So
with.
that's-
That was
yes.
100% by
Yeah, that's
by the
100%.
USDA NRCS.
Yeah.
Yes, and then we have the quarter match. Is that clear enough for a motion?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Thank you, sir.
Then I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Wade, and second by Commissioner Perry. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, Cindy, who was the motion and who was the second? Did you?
Commissioner Wade making the initial motion and Commissioner Perry making.
Perry, okay, thank you. I heard a couple people make the second. I just wanted to make sure what we had.
That would-
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Resolution R-26-011 is requesting approval for claims for payment. Exhibit A, American Medical Response for $1,163.35, and there was 4 claims. Exhibit B is for Trans-Aero Medevac Air Ambulance for $5,000, and there was 1 claim. Exhibit C is La Casa de Buena Salud for $21,613.15, and there was 127 claims. 87 of the claims were for dental, 35 were for primary care, and 5 were for mental health. 2 dental claims were submitted after the 90-day deadline in the amount of $334.75. The total for all claims submitted is $27,776.50, and there was 132 claims. Staff recommends approval.
Mr. Chairman, I have one question on this. On those ones that you have highlighted, were they into the total or were they left out?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Korn, those were in the total.
In the total?
Yes, and those were the 2 that were late.
Okay. Yeah.
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to move to approve Resolution R-26-011, the presentation of the indigent health care claims.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We have a second?
Second.
Commissioner, motion by Commissioner Perry, second by Commissioner Korn. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
Here I am again, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Agenda item number 6 is the acceptance and approval of fiscal year 2025's audit. As you remember earlier this morning, Jaramillo Accounting Group was able to present that, but now per the local government division's new requirement pursuant to section 2-2-2-10M.4 NMAC, with regard to the acceptance and approval of audits, they are now requiring the governing body to acknowledge and accept fiscal year 2025's audit. Staff recommends approval.
Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the audit, Resolution R-26-12.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Wade and second by Commissioner Korn. Any further discussion? I'll just make one comment. I think it's an excellent audit report, and it's a great, our accounting staff here at the county is exceptional. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0.
Thank you. Agenda item number 7 is Resolution R-26-013, which is a budget adjustment resolution for fiscal year 2026's budget. The Finance Department is requesting a budget adjustment for the line items that are listed in Exhibit A. These adjustments include the recognition of expenditures and reimbursements related to the NMFA loan approved for the Berendo fire apparatus, as well as various wildland and EMS grants awarded to several volunteer fire departments. Additionally, the adjustments include a reclassification from the general fund to the detention fund for the state detention distribution, an increase to the current Secretary of State grant for the clerk's office, and a law enforcement retention grant for the Sheriff's Office. Staff recommends approval of Resolution R-26-013.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve Resolution R-26-013, the budget adjustment for fiscal '26.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Wade, second by Commissioner Corn. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, thank you. Agenda item number 8 brings to you Resolution R-26-014, reporting of the 2026 Chaves County Certified Road Mileage to the NMDOT. This request is for the approval of Resolution R-26-014, reporting to the 2026 Chaves County Certified Road Mileage to the DOT as acquired by the Section 66-6-23 NMSA. Chaves County is required to report annually a total number of certified miles to the Secretary of Highway and Transportation. This report is for the purpose of funding to counties and road maintenance purposes. The reported mileage for 2026 is 1,415.388 miles. Staff recommends approval.
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution R-26-014, the reporting of the 2026 Chaves County Certified Road Mileage to New Mexico Department of Transportation.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Perry, second by Commissioner Corn. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Hey, I got a quick question, not really opposed on this, but when we have our certified road mileage, our certified, it says purpose of funding for maintenance purposes. Do we have a lot that are not under maintenance that are still open?
Yes, sir, we do.
We do?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, just wondering. I'm good, that's all I think.
Morning, Chairman, Commissioners. Agenda item number 9 is the award recommendation and approval of Agreement A-26-002 for ITB 26-02 Cottonwood Lane Repair 2026 to Constructors, Inc. of Carlsbad, New Mexico. Chaves County solicited bids for the Cottonwood Lane repair. We received 2 bids on March 10th, 2026 as follows. First one was Constructors, Inc. of Carlsbad, New Mexico for $469,412 without GRT. And the second bid was J&H Services, Inc. out of Albuquerque, New Mexico for $469,529 without GRT. That was by far my closest bid I've ever received. All bids were responsive and tabulated for compliance by staff. Staff recommends approval of award recommendation to the qualified low bidder of Constructors, Inc. in the amount of $469,412 plus the GRT. And staff recommends approval of the award recommendation and approval of agreement A-26-002.
Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move we award recommendation and approval of A-26-002 for ITB-26-02 Cottonwood Lane Repair 2026 to Constructors, Inc. of Carlsbad, New Mexico.
I second.
Motion by Commissioner Davis, second by Commissioner Perry. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0.
Thank you. Agenda item number 10, Chairman and Commissioners, is the request to approve an award recommendation to Core Health LLC of Dallas, Texas for RFP 26-02 Inmate Medical Services. Chaves County issued a request for proposals for inmate medical services to continue compliance with the mandated medically assisted treatment, which is the MAT program. Chaves County received 2 responsive proposals. Proposals were received from Core Health LLC of Dallas, Texas, and Thrive Medical Services of Tucumcari, New Mexico. Staff has reviewed the proposals for compliance, and the evaluation committee reviewed the proposal against evaluation factors to include responses to experience and expertise, the offeror's approach to administering Chaves County, and the scope of services and the financial stability and condition of the offeror's company. The evaluation committee is recommending approval of the award recommendation to Core Health LLC and approval to enter into contract negotiations. Those contract negotiations will be presented in the April 16th commission meeting and brought back to you. Staff recommends approval of the award recommendation.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve RFP 2602, the request to approve the recommendation to Core Health for final approval after negotiations.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Wade, second by Commissioner Dana. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I think what we're just looking for is just to approve the award of the bid.
And then the negotiations fail, what do we do then?
Well, then we would come back to you at some point. We would go to the second offer.
But if we already approved it, we already approved it, is what I'm.
Well, now, all you're doing though is approving the award of the contract, award of the bid, and then the contract will come back to you next month with final approval of the contract and all of any additionals, any monies, anything else that would change. But at this point, we don't think much would change, but we haven't sat down with them and finalized the contract yet.
Right, so that's why I didn't want to approve the contract, I was approving the award, the recommendation
Yes,
of
just
the
the
award.
recommendation.
Yeah.
Approving the,
Totally, we just approved the,
Contract itself without,
no, we
that's,
just approved the award, the bid award to them at this point, and then we'll come back and actually approve that agreement.
Contract.
So you're not, the best way to say it is, you're awarding it pending the contract.
that's what I
But yeah,
was approving the recommendation
yeah, so if you just want to award it
pending contract,
negotiations,
I
yes.
move, okay.
yes.
I move we approve the award pending contract negotiations with the final award to be done next month.
Right.
And I'll second that.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Wade, second by Commissioner Dana. Any further discussion? Is this a different company than what's out there currently, or is this the same one?
Correct, this is different. The current contractor is Roadrunner Health Services.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Chairman, Commissioners, thank you. Agenda item number 11 is the appointment to the Chaves County Planning and Zoning Commission. Cody Rattan is an active member of the community as a member of the Berindo Volunteer Fire and owner of Southwest Bearing Company. Mr. Rattan would be replacing Mr. Brian Archuleta, who has resigned and moved away from Chaves County. If approved, Mr. Rattan would finalize the Planning and Zoning Commission's roster to 5 members. Staff recommends approval.
Mr. Chairman, I move the appointment of Chaves County Planning and Zoning Commission to Mr. Cody Rattan. I do it reluctantly because my neighbor moved and I'm sad.
I second.
Any further discussion? Motion was by Commissioner Dana and second by Commissioner Perry. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0.
Okay, agenda item number 12. Permission to advertise a notice of public hearing to amend the Chaves County Building Code Ordinance number 60. This amendment is to clarify and correct current regulations and add new development codes dealing with battery energy storage systems and solar facilities. A notice shall be published one time in the Roswell Daily Record at least 2 weeks prior to the public hearing and shall comply with all the requirements set forth per 4-37-7 NMSA. Staff recommends approval.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the permission to advertise the notice of public meeting for the public hearing to amend the Chaves County Building Code Ordinance number 60, revision number 6.
A second.
Motion by Commissioner Wade, second by Commissioner Corn. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0.
Chairman, Commissioners, hello again. Agenda item number 13 is a request for ratification of out-of-state travel for training. We're requesting ratification for Aaron Kraft, who's a Division Chief of Sierra Volunteer Fire Department, to use a VFD vehicle to travel to Prescott, Arizona to attend training for 4 days at the Arizona Wildfire and Incident Management Academy. Course registration, room and board, and fuel costs have all already been covered. No county funds will be expended for this training. And he would be here, but he is here at the training this week, so, or in Arizona. Staff recommends approval of ratification.
So is he attending more than 2 classes worth, or?
Yes, sir. If you look at the agenda schedule,
I see that he has.
he's kind of got a full week picked out.
You good?
Do we have a motion?
At this time, I'd like to move to approve ratification of out-of-state travel for Sierra Volunteer Fire Department.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Perry, second by Commissioner Dana. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Next item on the agenda, which is item number 14, is the approval of the Law Enforcement Protection Fund. Through the Law Enforcement Protection Fund, the Chaves County Sheriff's Office is eligible for a total of $147,500 for fiscal year 2026-2027. This money will be used to purchase and/or fund the following. $16,000 has been allocated for regular salaries for the K-9 monthly additional pay. $101,500 has been allocated to purchase law enforcement apparatus and equipment. $30,000 has been allocated for expenses associated to advanced training, bringing us to a total balance of $147,500. If you look on page 2 and 3, you will have the application itself. And page number 4 will give you a breakdown a little bit further on the amount that we have allocated for $147,500. I stand for any questions, and staff recommends approval.
I have a couple of questions. On paragraph, the second paragraph, you got $101,500, and that's to purchase radios, firearm screens, protective screens, computers. I'm kind of wondering, what if y'all purchase guns, who is the owner of the gun, and once it's purchased, do we have a sale of these guns later, or? I mean, I don't know how this actually works. I kind of need to know where where the firearms end up at if we're giving them to whoever that's employed, but once they're not employed anymore, these firearms stay in the office, or what happens to them? I'm not familiar with this, so I'm trying to pick your brain here a minute.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Hub, all firearms that are purchased through any funds, whether they're law enforcement protection funds or the budget, are actually tagged as a fixed item, fixed asset. So they are part of the Chaves County Sheriff's Office. They are housed in an actual safe until they're issued out to a deputy, lieutenant, sergeant, whoever it is that we are promoting or hiring. They are Chaves County property, and the only time anybody's able to purchase a gun at all is at retirement, and that individual has served for Chaves County for 20-plus years, and they're eligible to purchase their gun once we file for them to have, the item is disposed and it comes before commission, and a dollar amount is assessed for them to be able to purchase it at a later date. Other than that, all guns are property of Chaves County and are housed here on the property.
If I may add to that, just so you know, I used to do that for the state, and there's also a lot of firearms that are retired over time just because we used them so much. A lot of times those are traded or sold to an armor or an armory and traded back for new equipment, and stuff, and with seizures too. So it's not like, if they're on the Chaves County rolls, they're Chaves County property. They're not given to anybody because that would be an anti-donation. You can't do that.
Well, I just haven't seen, of course, I haven't been here long enough, I guess. I haven't seen any tabulation of sales back to the,
We haven't, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Corn.
So do you have a whole-
We haven't had one that is a sale in a very long time. So right now, everything that you have on our fixed asset that's on our inventory is either assigned to a deputy or in our vault.
so,
Once a weapon is going to be either retired or wanting to be available for a deputy to go ahead and purchase, we don't sell it directly to the deputy. We actually get 3 quotes, and it has to be a licensed dealer that can actually sell the firearm. Therefore, we do not put it up for auction like we do our normal items, because we cannot sell it to a citizen as we are not licensed to sell weapons. But we will get quotes. We'll make sure that we get the best value, and then we sell it to that licensed dealer. Now, they can turn around and actually sell it to the deputy, and the deputy can know. Most of our dealers that are here locally are always gracefully selling the guns to them at the price that they purchase the gun, so that it's a wash for the dealer. But that is out of our hands. Once we sell it to them, we get the quotes, and we have those quotes tagged along with the paperwork from where that weapon was approved by commission to go ahead and be sold. So we don't sell any type of weapons directly to any citizen or even the retired deputy.
so who actually has the license to purchase the firearm to begin with? The sheriff's department or the county, or who?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Corn, and I don't know who the assigned officer is right now. I haven't seen a major purchase of actual weapons lately, but I don't know who is your assigned custodian.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, it is the sheriff and the undersheriff the undersheriff is the one who makes all the necessary arrangements with the gun dealers themselves.
So it's under the sheriff's department's name and not?
Yes. No, it's under Chaves County, sir. So the Law Enforcement Protection Fund, what you're seeing before you is what could potentially be bought. If you look at page number 4, it'll break it down a little bit easier for you. This page right here is created for you in order to be able to give you what could potentially be purchased with this line item. So $16,000, it tells you, is for canine salaries. Employee training and registration fees is $15,000. Travel and training and per diem is $15,000. Supplies and tools, $50,750. That tells you that out of supplies and tools, what can be bought out of there is ammunition, targets, portable radios, batteries, pepper spray, evidence supplies, graphics for new patrol units. Next item is the non-expendable supplies, $50,750. What can be purchased out of that line item is guns, gun locks, flashlights, portable radios, mobile radios, crime scene equipment, PA systems, sirens, protective screens, light bars, computers, smartphones, firearms, Panasonic Toughbooks, and docking stations. Those are the things that we see potential that we could be purchasing with the LEFP Protection Fund. That is there for you to be able to have a little bit more reference on that, and I hope that that helps a little bit.
So you're not necessarily saying that guns will be purchased, you're just saying they can
They
be
can be. And
under
if they-
this line
And if they
item.
were purchased through the
Right.
LEPF, that would be the line
And
item.
it has to be a FFL to FFL. We just can't go out and buy, it has to be, you have to go to a licensed FFL dealer. They have to do background checks, stuff like that, and then it is put into our inventory as one of our assets, so.
So what is our inventory right at the moment? I mean, I haven't seen any of that.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Corn, we can run a report for you, but usually at the end of every fiscal year, we have a big master list of all of our inventory that is approved by the commission. So the last time it was presented was in July of last year, but we can certainly run you an inventory report for the sheriff's office so you can see all their items that they have.
Well, I'm just curious on the guns, where they actually go and who's handling
Inventory.
them and how they're disposed of or retired or whatever. Anyway,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes, of course.
There's pretty strict guidelines on how you
Yeah.
can get rid of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really strict, it's lined out. Even some of them have to go to a museum if they're ancient artifacts or something like that, but most of them are destroyed nowadays. All through the court, mind you.
Okay, I was just curious. Sorry.
No, you're
Nope.
good.
I have a question on the training and travel. Is this specific training and travel? How many people are we involved in? This isn't like the annual sheriff's conference in Reno, Nevada, is it?
No, sir. No, Mr. Chairman. This is for the actual deputies, for them to be able to attend any trainings that may come up that is necessary to their field.
For
and
the
we'll
actual
project-
deputies?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
So the Western States Conference and all the other training for the sheriff and undersheriff is put in the regular budget for them.
Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the Law Enforcement Protection Fund application for 2026 to 2027.
I second.
Motion by Commissioner Wade and second by Commissioner Perry. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners.
Chairman, Commissioners, thank you. Last agenda item of the day is the 2026 Chaves County Annual Road Hearing Freeholders Report and Application Summary. Submitted is a summary of the freeholders report reflecting their on-site viewing of the 2026 road applications. As a reminder, the public hearing for the submitted applications will be April 16th, 2026. In accordance with the Chaves County road policy, the county commission is required to view the roads after the public hearing. Staff would then remind the county commission at next month's meeting. They will be asked to reserve a day between April 21st and April 24th, 2026 to view the roads. It is estimated to take less than half a day to review this year's road applications. Other than maybe picking the day now, we can also pick the day, I think, at next month's meeting. There's probably no other further action required.
Why don't we pick the date at next meeting?
Yep.
Will do.
Do we have a motion?
Oh, yes, guess we need one for this, do we? If we're not picking the date?
You accept the freeholder reports?
Accepting
Just
the
accept it.
freeholders.
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept the 2026 annual freeholders report and the application summaries.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Wade, second by Commissioner Perry. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0.
Alex, if I could, when we go out there, can you have at least one copy of maps that are color so we can see if there's any surrounding public property that's going to be, we don't have access to it for hunting, kind of thing? Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Approval of checks.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve payments in the amount of $4,172,728.60, and thank you for highlighting that for me this month.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Wade, second by Commissioner Dana. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Approval of reports.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve reports.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Dana, second by Commissioner Wade. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pass. Unscheduled communications limited to 3 minutes per visitor and not in excess of 15 minutes. No formal action taken at this time. Anyone wishing to address the commission?
Marvin Clemens, 6102 Kincaid. I've been up here so many times, I don't know what to say anymore. I get tired of complaining about this nuisance properties out there by my house, and it seems like every time somebody drops the ball and we don't get nothing done. I'm just asking you guys to do something. That's all I ask. Do something. There's 3 properties out there by me. They're just junk. And there's scumbag people living all over them properties, walking by, homeless folks or whatever, junk cars everywhere. It don't look good. The city just put out a whole bunch of money building a big old fancy road out there, and they got to come down my neighborhood to go to Allsup's. And what do they see? Junk. You know, I understand there's junk everywhere in the whole county, but I'm the only one that's down here complaining about it. I see nobody comes up here every month and says anything about it. So, you know what? Do something for me. If you ain't gonna do nothing for them people, they don't care, I guess, because nobody's up here complaining. So that's all I gotta say. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, county managers' communications.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, of course, we're going to the jail here in just a little while. We do our annual jail visit to assure that everything is copacetic there, and we're looking forward to doing that and showcasing the changes in the cleanliness and everything that Mr. Briscoe and his team have done this year. Want to congratulate the Finance Department on yet again another Audit Excellence Award from GFOA. They just continually exceed all expectations, and that's pretty typical of most of our Chaves County departments. I'd even say all of our Chaves County departments, but Finance Department certainly is very well awarded for the fine job that they do, and I want to congratulate them. I also want to thank the freeholders, having gone out and viewed the roads. It's a very important thing that we do. We only do it once a year, and it's a complex process, as Alex can attest to. Fortunately, we only have 3 roads this year, but the commitment of the freeholders is a huge part of this, and want to thank them for that. We had a couple of flood control things come up. Cottonwood Lane in South Springs, of course, we've been waiting for FEMA this entire time. Finally, our ducks are in a row, and we're able to get started working on that, as well as the project that Brian brought up. All that's been held up because of the government requirements, but we're finally getting to the point where we can actually do something. So We thank you for all you guys do for us. We thank you for all the support you give all of our departments, and look forward to seeing you at the jail. Visitation day, I guess.
Visitation. Commissioner Data.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, appreciate everything that the staff does. Thank you for the audit reports and congratulations on that. I sat in on the audit report for the city of Roswell, and let me tell you, we're marvelous. We are marvelous. I do have some good news. During last Thursday's city council meeting, I was in attendance. They did approve the contract. They will be signing with Lifehouse out of Carlsbad, so for behavioral health. They've already hired 2 people in Chaves County for the crisis intervention team. They do have a building that they will be leasing from the city of Roswell. So the steps are in place for taking care of the behavioral health, working with our detention center when our detainees are released. Right now, they're just released on the streets. That will be another step. They'll have case managers helping those detainees get housing. So thank you very much for signing that for the housing. That's a huge part, trying to get them back integrated into homes, jobs, and things like that. So this is a big step for Chaves County. I've been working on this since 2022, and great things are coming about. Bill is going to sign, hopefully, our MOU with the state of New Mexico. There's $10 million coming down to each district for SB3 funds for behavioral health. That'll help us in a lot of ways, and hopefully kind of help us with the math program too. We're hoping that will kind of help with that too. So hopefully Chaves County, with this contract with Lifehouse out of Carlsbad, and seeing the great things that they've done in Eddy County, we are on our way to helping these folks to better help our law enforcement instead of having our law enforcement go out. Our law enforcement is having to be mental health providers. They're all things to everybody, and so are our detention centers. So hopefully this will kind of alleviate some of that. We'll have case managers. We'll be able to plug these people into behavioral health and hopefully keep these people out of the detention center and get them the help that they need and move them on to being productive, wonderful citizens. They just need a little help. Lifehouse is going to be the super connector for that. So I really appreciate what we have done here with Chaves County and the commissioners, but also to our city councilors who have listened to our presentation since 2022 on trying to alleviate the behavioral health problems here. So thank you to our road department. I appreciate it. East Pine Lodge, I've received so many calls on that, even from my daughter who went out there to get eggs. And so appreciate that. That's going to be wonderful. If you did what you did the first half of it, is the second half is going to be marvelous. And I did go over the Brasher Road Bridge. There is a sign that says narrow bridge. Do you want to take that down yet or no? Leave it up. It was really kind of funny because I saw the sign. You automatically see the narrow. So you kind of move over and make sure that you're squished. And it's like, no, I don't need to do that anymore. So it's nice, very nice. Thank you very much. Red Bridge, I mean, we've done so much in Chaves County. I'm so excited. People only notice when things go wrong, but I actually did receive a call on Red Bridge. The guy was so happy. He thanked the county and thanked our workers there for their hard work. So we appreciate it. Trans-Arrow, thank you very much for entering into that. I think that's marvelous for the citizens of Chaves County. I just hope that people take note. The partnerships, and I call them partnerships all the time. This is the partnerships that we need to work on, and that we do work on, and that we do provide for the taxpayers. So I appreciate that. I appreciate everything that y'all do. This is what we do for the taxpayers. When you show them what their money is doing, they're happy. We just, they don't mind, but I appreciate everything that y'all do. Thank you.
Commissioner Wade.
First of all, I have a Rita communication. The Midway Joy Center is having a garage sale on April the 11th, and Rita is there with her bake sale as well.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
After your public communication there. Commissioner Dana, I would like to thank you for all your work with behavioral health in this county.
Thank you.
And
I
we
appreciate
appreciate
you.
that, and I know you put a lot of effort into that and a lot of time. The finance department, my gosh, another
Yes.
one. Isn't that great? Good for y'all. I wanted to thank the mayor, but he was needing to get down south, and, for his help with getting the agreement with Transarrow. And and Joe, the road repairs, the new truck's working all right, I guess, but. Oh, is it? My gosh, month and a half.
All right.
Well, there were some unexpected issues that we didn't know, some safety issues that we had to address. Fortunately, Chaves County has a very, very experienced welder fabricator.
All right.
This guy, I don't know if there's anything he can't fix or build.
Cool.
So we had to make some modifications to the truck. Those modifications have been sent to Thermal Lane, and they're interested in what he did, so it will make it safer for our crews or operators of truck. So we have sent our guys to the city of Longwood. They have the same machine, so we've done a little bit of training with them to just get an idea of how everything works. Out on the road today, see what happens.
Well, good. And I think a lot of that was with Joseph and his protection of our crew, I guess. That's great.
Pointed out today, we got the truck on February 4th.
Good deal. Safety first, yes. Let's see, one other thing, I'd just like to thank everybody, but one other thing too, is there a way to get this communication in here where we don't have to bend the microphone over to a speaker, where we can have one of those hootises that look at everybody while they're talking or something and get things a little clearer?
We could, it's kind of weird, it kind of overlaps, so if we put it online, it'll kind of screech too much, and I think there's a lot of feedback, so nobody can hear it online if we tie it into the system, so we kind of have to do it in a roundabout way.
But can we do a different system just as easy?
We could, I think that's the idea, is to just kind of replace this and do something a little bit better in the future, but.
And I appreciate everything y'all are doing too. It's good, and thanks for that road, on the website, where the road repair is there in the road department right at the bottom there. You just click on it and get it over to Joe, and works very slick.
We got some plans for improvements too, so.
Thank you.
Hopefully getting better.
Thank you all. Appreciate you all, everybody.
Commissioner Corn.
I would like to reiterate what Cliff and Dara was saying. Everybody's done an excellent job. We had a good report today. I probably said a little more than I needed to today, but I just needed a few questions answered for me, and you guys got it to me. And Joe, thanks for everything you do. Brian, I know we had a little hiccup this morning, but we got it going, I think. I think, everybody, good job. Thanks for putting up with me, and I'll pass it on down.
Mr. Perry.
Thank you. You guys have no idea what it's like to put up with anything until you go to him, to Washington DC with this guy right here. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, and 4 years ago, I was that guy, right? No, really, I echo what the previous commissioner has said about the professionalism of our staff, because it really goes a long way and it helps us do other things. And I wanted to take a little chance to thank you right there for helping me with all my travels and per diem stuff, because it's come out great lately and it's been perfect. When last time we were in Washington, we understood that the SRS payments came through, 3-year deal, and they were supposed to come through last month, I guess. We haven't received them. Can you call Mr. Trump on that, see if you can get it? He's expecting your call at 10.
I'll be at Mar-a-Lago this weekend,
so
we'll talk about it.
Well, just so you know, that's how we are. We're working for you to get that money, because if you guys
Yes.
didn't do the things you did, we couldn't do the things we did, and that's where it kind of bridges in the middle and really helps. And I'm really appreciative of the efforts that you guys have given us. If any of you could figure out how to fix the allergy season, that would be very beneficial to a lot of people, because it's really tearing me up this year for some reason. I don't know what's going on, but thank you for your time and thank you for everything you've done.
Well, I'll just conclude and say congratulations and thank you to our excellent finance department. As a CPA and as an individual who has done audits, I can understand the complexity, what goes into an audit, and coming up with a great unmodified report and no findings is an excellent tribute to our finance department. Thank you to your entire staff. And I think it was a great step in passing this air ambulance thing. I think it'll be very a good benefit to the entire population of Chaves County, that they don't have to worry about a big bill for ambulance service after they've been transported. At that, we will go to the jail. We won't adjourn the meeting until after the jail visit, and hopefully nobody has to stay there overnight. But before we go, probably sign documents and then transport out to the jail. You have a comment?
We're good.
Okay.
Walking up in there, got all ripped.
Do we need to sign?
Undercover pistol on.
Oh, shit.
They didn't even ask.